Hey, welcome, gentlemen. Welcome. Happy Friday. Welcome to office hours. If you got questions, go ahead and start typing them in, or you can let me know if you want to unmute yourself, if that's easier. We can chat. We can do that too. And we will do these first come, first serve. But if you are in one of my paid masterminds or growth insiders, send me a chat message directly and I will prioritize you. The VIP treatment. Hope everybody's doing well. Happy Friday. Tony, good to see you. Teresa, good to see you. Look at all these videos. I like Timothy, good to see you. Tim, good to see you. Awesome. Welcome, everybody. Cool. If you got a question, type it in or let me know you want to chat. You can unmute yourself and chat away. Go for it. A reminder, these are Q&A sessions. Yeah, go ahead, Tony, because I have nothing prepared. So we'll sit here and stare at each other if that's what happens. Go for it.
I'm super excited because I'm launching a software company.
Oh, cool.
And what it does is it makes podcasting profitable for hosts and their guests. And
I love it.
What I'm trying to do, or what I'm planning on doing, is launching it with joint venture partners. And I know you've talked a lot about JVs in the past, mostly on the service side, I think, and like a training side.
Yeah.
But I wanted to get your thoughts on how to do the rev share, because my thought was to do a 2-tier affiliate program or JV program, 40% and then 10%. And I was curious to see how long I should have that run, like if I should have it run indefinitely for the lifetime of it. Just because my only concern, I mean, it sounds good because software, as you know, is very profitable, but I'm just concerned about gotchas that I may not anticipate. And all of a sudden 40% is a huge part, chunk. And then if I want to sell the company, it's a problem. So I just wanted to get your thoughts, because I know you've been through similar.
Yeah, it's a great question. First of all, I love the space, and while I don't know exactly what you're doing with the model, I love the general opportunity and kind of thesis in that area. So that's awesome. Good for you. Yeah. So do you think it's a business that you're thinking, hey, I'm looking forward to an exit in X number of years type of thing?
Yeah.
Like, is that okay?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, if you're looking to exit it at some point, then I would definitely have some limits to that affiliate agreement. I wouldn't have it go indefinitely. Maybe it's a 1 year. I don't know if this is like you're selling like a subscription or something like that, but it's
membership.
Yeah, so maybe it's like a 1 year earnout type of thing, because you will definitely get pushback if it's indefinite, or you'll get devalued if it's indefinite from your buyer, or your buyer will come in and kill all those affiliate agreements just on the spot in any, if they have any legal possible way of doing it, they will. So rather than put those people in that position, I would just have an affiliate program that's structured the way that you think it makes sense to accomplish your goals and buyout and all that good stuff. I think that, as an affiliate, if I know going into it, okay, I've got a year payout, I mean, that's totally fine. I would understand and make some adjustments on my end in terms of how much of a revenue stream I'm building with that, and it just is what it is. But I don't think it's not going to discourage people from promoting it in any way. So
okay, cool, thanks.
Yeah, you bet. I think that's awesome though. I look forward to when you have something up and running, be sure to let me know.
Yeah, I have we're going to Alpha next, and we have probably 100 JV partners, and it's going to be featured at Podfest. So it's going to be pretty big. We got more demand than I anticipated. So I'll send you a demo video of it.
I imagine. I mean, if it does its job, it's going to have crazy demand. I'm still shocked at how kind of underdeveloped that space is. I mean, I've known a guy out here in San Diego, not personally, but just I've known of him really through another connection of mine, who for probably 3 years now has had a podcast ad placement kind of brokerage type of thing. And man, that guy has mopped up money like nobody's business. It's crazy.
Like 85% of podcasts don't make any money. And it's really simple to make. Like basically what it does is it helps them get joint venture partners, direct sales, and sponsorships. And those three. And it's almost like a CRM for your podcasting. It's pretty cool. People love it so far. So.
Yeah, good for you. Well, I love it. And yeah, not only do the podcasts not generate money, but the advertising on podcasts is incredibly effective. Like the stats around it, it's off the charts how effective it is. So that combination is a wild opportunity.
Not only that, but then you have Facebook. Like, what's going to happen there? Like, once they can't track everything and Apple slaps them, you know, I think that's why I built this, because I see anticipating those channels are going to be more constrained. So people are going to go more to kind of more personalized type.
Well, there's always room for more places to advertise. That will only grow. I mean, the number of places that we can advertise is only going to continue to grow, and only they are all going to be lucrative. I mean, if the advertising works, they're going to be lucrative. It doesn't matter if Facebook's incredible, Google's incredible. You still have just as big of an opportunity if your platform works. So good for you.
Cool. Thanks.
Yeah, you bet. Let's see here. Teresa, I'd like to hash through my premium package for my deal site. I have a couple of different ways to go. Let's go for it. Yeah.
Yeah. So happy Friday.
Yeah, you too.
So I've got some random things here that I'm considering as part of the premium package for this deal site.
Okay.
And I'm trying to put together something that actually makes sense. So one, I love the missed call text back service and the chat widget service.
Yeah.
The other things are a Google My Business set up through Highlevel. Like you suggested, maybe the upload of their custom graphic for their offer to put on my platform, and then a smart number with Twilio to sort of enhance the way we can have people claim their offers and coupons and stuff. So if I put a follow-up type of campaign together with a smart number and maybe the chat widget, that looks to me like something like a customer care premium package that you could put on top of, you know, being a part of the deals offers and stuff like that. Otherwise, it's just very random. Those three things kind of match up, but I'm still trying to decide too what to include in just the basic package, whether it's one offer a month, 4 a month, or just unlimited, and simplify that. But my thought was, if I have some sort of client customer care package as the premium offer, if they did just want to drop off of the deal site, I would still have that.
So I like, so just to give everybody a little bit of context here, Teresa is building up a media and deals site in her local community, and has some, you know, ways that she's going about it to differentiate from like a Groupon or something like that. So I'd say a couple of things, and based on my experience and what I put together, you know, I definitely I'm kind of, you know, already biased on this a little bit, but I think that on that base package, you definitely I don't think on any of these do you want to make it unlimited, because I think if that includes being like posted up on your site and stuff like that, I think that will get taken advantage of. And I just don't think there's any reason for it from a perceived value perspective. Like, I think you can, you know, hey, $97 a month or whatever, you get to post, you know, one deal, you know, whatever your price points are, but then you know, you can do up to 3 deals a month or 4 deals a month, that type of thing. I think that's good. And then I do love the follow-up goal. And I think I talked to you maybe a little bit about this before, but that's why I was working with Coupon Tools and Highlevel was, okay, how do we capture people's SMS so that we can then do follow-up to them? I personally think that's a just a very natural extension to the service. And so having the smartphone, the smart number, and then doing that capture and building like some follow-up sequence in place, I think is really valuable. And then the other really valuable upsell is the blast to your list, right? So
Can you say that one more time? Is the what?
Yeah, yeah. So a blast to your list. So
Oh,
if you're building up an
oh.
SMS list, so you should build up your list as an asset. That should not be included with every deal. I mean, you can't blast your list with every deal that gets run, or you won't have a list very quickly, right? So I think upselling that as a premium, and maybe you have like a newsletter, or twice a week text blast type of thing that will include their offer in that blast, I think is a super attractive upsell, because as your list grows, you'll be able to drive a ton of volume through those blasts. I mean, those will be very, very attractive.
Okay. You probably have mentioned that, but I had forgotten about it. So thank you. I like that a lot.
Yeah,
And,
sure. I think I would personally stick, at least for now, I would stick with things that are like very directly related to the core service offer. It's like, I can put a deal up. That's one thing. I can put a deal up, or I can put up multiple deals over the month. I can put up those deals and have them included in a blast, and I can put up those deals and have follow up to anybody who responds automatically to double my my numbers of conversion or whatever it is, because you'll literally, like, those all just make super sense to me as a buyer, like, and I think for you as a seller, it's just very logical. Hey, do you want some help following up, because we've got a follow-up system, works amazing. So I would personally stick with those things for now, and kind of anything outside of that, I would look at adding later as you get momentum and have enough customers to evaluate if it's really worth it.
right. Okay. Yeah. Great. Yeah. Thanks. Thanks,
Yeah,
Mike.
you bet. Let's see here. Timothy, have a digital marketing agency that is interested in having us run a text marketing campaign for one of their clients. I would love to do this, but as soon as they see the platform and investigate a bit, they will go direct. Any thoughts on how to manage that? Should I just set them up as an affiliate from the start? Okay, because you're talking about like running this through Highlevel, Timothy?
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, what I would recommend is, okay, so this is an agency, they have a client and they want you to, okay, so I think a couple of things. I mean, one way that you can handle this is that you just never show them the platform, right? So you hey, you give us the list, you give us the creative, and we'll blast the sucker on whatever date and time that you agree to. But they never actually see the platform itself. So that's one option. Another option though is, yeah, I mean, to sign them up as a customer on the platform. Like you could say, hey, our agency partners, we set them up on our platform. It's X dollars a month or whatever it is, and just give them access to it. I don't know though. I don't, unless there's some reason why. I don't know why you need to give them access to the platform at all. Is there something that you think is driving that?
Just the customer needing to go in and respond to text messages they're getting in response.
Oh, okay, I got it. So you mean the customer itself, or you mean the agency?
So the agency owns the customer. The agency wants a contract with us to do the text marketing. As soon as the customer of the agency gets like a web chat lead, they need to go into the platform and engage, right? That's an example. So they're going to see the platform either way.
Got it. I would, I don't know. I would say then I would not worry about it too much. I would probably, though, the approach that I would be taking is signing them up on the platform, like under you, like having your logo and stuff, and you're setting them up as an account on the platform, and then giving the agency access to that account, and just letting them work in that environment like that. Is there a risk that they decide to go and invest in a platform directly and work with their customers directly? Yeah, but I think that's I don't know that that's a risk that you can avoid. I mean, there's a bazillion different text messaging platforms, right? I mean, that agency, I would think, could sign up for a platform at any time.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
Have they said why? I mean, why are they working with you on it versus just signing up for a text messaging platform? Has that conversation happened at all, or is it just?
It's more of a, you know, their lane is the digital marketing side. They don't get involved with, you know, texting. It's a new service that they don't want to offer, but they have customers that are interested.
Got it. Yeah, so I would set them up I would set up their customer in the platform. I would set up the agency contacts that you're working with as users in that, so that they can go in and see and have visibility to what's going on and participate, you know, to help the customer if they want to, that type of thing. I think the reality is you just can't, you're not going to be able to prevent them from seeing the platform, potentially making the decision to, you know, work to invest in that platform without you. I think that's pretty impossible.
Yeah. Okay. More to come.
You bet. Tim says, oh, Tim, talking to you, Teresa, we offer DIY deals for free, but we offer a done with you service as part of our $297 a month package. I like the idea of a premium deals package with list building and SMS. Cool. All right, Tim says, we're rolling out content strategy in our neighborhoods. We plan on showcasing our $297 a month pro accounts as an interactive ad on the articles in their category. Cool. This would be another reason to upgrade to that level and above. Any thoughts or concerns? We're planning on showcasing our $297 a month pro accounts. Okay, rolling out content as interactive ad on the articles in the category. This would be another reason to upgrade to the level and above. Any thoughts or concerns? No concerns. In terms of
Does that make
thoughts,
sense, Mike?
yeah, I think so. Well, let me just walk through. So you're gonna be out there publishing content on your platform, on the neighborhoods platform.
Right.
In that content, there's going to be ads marketing to the businesses saying that they can
No.
upgrade to that.
Yeah. So let's say we'll get an article written for a home and garden type, you know, article. So it's you know, it's an interest in home and garden. We're going to publish that in the neighborhood, and then we'll pull in the businesses that are at the 297 or above level on our platform. So it might be a remodeling company, a landscape company, et cetera. So we'll pull an interactive ad automatically into that article.
Yeah.
As consumers are reading that article, again, going back to, okay, let's build traffic, let's build an audience for people reading that article, and then we're providing value to our advertisers, basically, automatically.
No, I don't have any concerns. I love that. I think it's awesome. I think small businesses would be crazy if they don't take you up on it.
Yeah, I mean, people understand ads, and that's what we keep coming back to. So they understand, like, they go to a magazine, you know, something like an N2 Publishing neighborhood magazine or something, if you're familiar with them, you know, and they place an ad. And you see this contextual advertising all the time. And so, you know, if we have an article on home and garden and it's about, you know, top 5 things to consider in your outdoor living space in 2021, we want to automatically put, you know, related businesses in that article.
I think it's great. I think it's brilliant. It is the reality that small business owners understand ads.
Exactly.
It's what they've been doing forever. The concept is simple. Let me give you my money and make sure I show up there.
Exactly.
So I'm a big fan of it. No, I love it. I guess the only thing, but you know, you guys are software developers, so I'm sure you can figure this out pretty easily, but it's just the rotation of, you know, how many of these businesses get seen within an article, and are there any sort of guarantees on impressions and, you know, any of that type of stuff. But I mean, I think that's, if you look at any of the ad platforms and some of the ad rotation plugins and stuff with WordPress and stuff, I imagine you can get some pretty.
Yeah, I mean, we've already kind of got that figured out with, and so in our platform, and you're familiar with it, but basically it pulls in their card, like you use the right term, the same term that we used the other day. It pulls in their card, which we call an interactive ad, because when you kind of look at it, you can see their reviews, you can see, you know, all these different things, and it pulls that in automatically based on their category and their account level.
Yeah, that's cool. I love it, man. I love it. I love what you guys are doing.
Thank you.
Let's see here. Timothy says, in high level, I want to create a trigger when a new review is received. Trigger new review received, actions, then email the customer a reminder to log in to respond. The reviews currently show up in the reviews tab in high level, but there's no notice to the customer when they get it. That is a good question, if we're able to do that or not. Let's check it out.
I don't think that's a current trigger, but I think it's something.
Is that right?
You know,
Yeah, I do not know. I'm just not familiar with that. Let's check real quick. So call status, contact, tag, this video. Submitted.
I think they're working on that, Mike, because they're going to be adding reviews into the conversations tab.
Oh, got it.
And
Yeah, it would shock me. I know Sean said to me in a conversation sometime about a month ago, he said that they were putting a focus on really beefing up the reviews side of things. He acknowledged that they started with a pretty heavy focus on reviews, and then kind of got to whatever point that they got, and then went off, you know, in some other development directions, and a little bit kind of left it. So yeah, it looks like that's not in there right now, but yeah, it does not surprise me to hear that they'll be adding that here pretty quickly. I think in general, just beefing up that whole side of the platform is going to be a big win. Dave Woosley, go for it.
Hi, Mike. Can you hear me?
Hey.
Hi.
Yeah.
Hey, Tim brought up something kind of interesting. He says he offers DIY deals for free and then the package for $297. And I was going to ask Tim before I ask you my question, is that a PLR type thing he gives them, or what's the DIY deal?
I will give you an answer, and then we can let Tim answer as well.
Okay.
So from my perspective, I have access to a platform called Coupon Tools, and Coupon Tools it's an awesome platform for doing, you know, deals, coupons, vouchers, stuff like that. And as part of that, you can, you know, if you want to, it's an option. You don't have to do it, but you can give your clients access to a portal where then they can go in and they can essentially create or administer their own deals through your system. So you can do that in a tool like that, so that it's a nice, you know, technology-based interface. You can put together templates in there and say, hey, here are the 3 templates that are in your account, so you're not starting from scratch, you know, that type of thing. Tim has his own platform that he has developed with his team in-house. So Tim, you want to speak to that?
yeah, that sounds like an interesting tool. But yeah, we have built our own platform, and so we basically give users access to their own account, and it's got content publishing tools in it. They can actually blog, get reviews, post special offers or deals and or projects, all DIY as part of the platform.
Okay, thanks, Tim, and thanks, Mike. And then the second part of the question is the information alchemy that you've been sending out emails on that's getting ready to start up. It sounds interesting. I wonder how it dovetails into the local agency and the newsletter profits.
The local agency, it does not at all. If anything, it is kind of my anti-local agency thing. So, you know, I am a huge fan of information marketing, and of anybody who has the capacity to do it if nothing else, as a side income, a secondary income. I just think it's to me, it's just a no-brainer. So it is all about that business. And when I say the information marketing industry, if you got my most recent email, I think that went out this morning, that is, to me, that includes publishing a digital newsletter, packaging and selling courses, doing affiliate marketing, running webinars, could be running live events online, could be running live events in person, masterminds, things like that. There's almost no end to the possibilities with it. But it is not in any way tied to the local agency space. And for the newsletter service that you mentioned, I would just tell you that newsletter service is actually, the newsletter service is a great example of, my services that scale concept. But to me, that's also a great example of an information marketing business. I'm selling information, I'm selling content that we create as a service, as a subscription. And so that's a really good example of of an information alchemy kind of business. It also fits into the services that scale side of the thing. But in general, I would say they're very different focuses. So agency space and services that scale is about how to create services that you're typically selling to small businesses and how to package those up and sell them and deliver them. Versus information alchemy is really all about information and how to sell and package that. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I didn't see a dovetail, but I wanted to ask. I thought maybe I was missing something.
Yeah, no, I think they're pretty darn different, and they're completely different, and that's why I say, to me, I would love if every single entrepreneur I knew was in the information marketing business in some way or another. Honestly, I do. I wish that I could grab everybody and shake them by the shoulders and be like, just please do this, because the upside potential of it is so big. The security of having that second income is so, I think, important in today's world. I just say if you have the bandwidth, because what I don't want it to be is to be a total distraction for somebody who's just getting something going in one area and then trying to get another thing going in that other area. That's very difficult to pull off. But if you have that capacity where you're yeah, I could spend a little bit of time doing something on the side and I want to, then I would love for everybody to be doing that, because it does have so many advantages.
Thanks, Mike.
You bet. Let's see here. Howard, go ahead. Yeah, Howard wants to discuss possibility of taking payments. All right, Teresa, have a good one. Thank you. Happy Friday. Go ahead, Howard.
Okay. Yeah, I've been really digging into Podium's offers and their emotion. I'm looking for that emotional bond there. And basically, I'm seeing phrases like convenience means ROI. Everything you do well, done faster through text. Your customers are texting. You should do it too. Those kind of things. I'm not seeing any emotional words, although some of their testimonials are, the easy button, that kind of thing. And another couple of things, they're basically pushing three main features: messaging, web chat, and payments.
Yep.
So that's the three things. Now we could do messaging, we can do web chat, but I see the payment. If you look at this screen that you're looking at now, and they have a text screen here. No, scroll back up to the top. Okay, and on the right, you'll see the graphic, and there's that if you look down, it's a payment message.
Oh yeah.
So at any rate, I mean, I use ThriveCard too, and I can certainly send them to an order page. However, they're going to have to re-enter their information, and they're not going to get a text receipt like that. They're going to just get an email receipt. So I'm wondering I've seen some things here and there in the group about payments, but I don't think it's been set up yet. I mean, what's the status on that? What are your thoughts about including something like that?
Well, in high level, you can create products, and, in a funnel and sell, and have people buy those products through high level now, through Stripe, through their integration with Stripe.
Uh-huh.
So you can do that for sure in high level at this point. I mean, you want me to just show real quick what I'm referring to?
Yeah.
So if I just go to, let me just pick one of these funnels here, and I'm just gonna, this doesn't make any sense in this particular case, it's just an opt-in page, but you go over here to products. Okay. And if I had Stripe integrated with this, which I don't, then you would just do add a product here. And so you can literally, create a product to sell. So it's not like an invoicing tool or anything like that. So it's not easy for like your customer to just like create something on the fly that's, like a dynamic number, like, oh, hey, Tim, yeah, I'll do that for you. It's $237. But if Tim has a menu of services or productized services or whatever that he sells that are set price points, it's pretty darn easy to put those into high level now and have somebody be able to go, check out and pay for that product or service. So you can do it that way. You can build, a little landing page and order form for your customer with high level, by doing that. Like I said, it's not an invoicing tool. It's not dynamic. I know that having a payments tool that is more Podium-like is on Sean's radar, but I don't know at all the time frame for that. I think it's a little bit further down the road.
So, so it incorporates the data from a potential customer or customer you're messaging, and it doesn't ask for that again, or it asks for that again on the landing page.
Well, you can do the whole sticky contacts thing in high level. So anywhere that if they've already entered their data someplace, you can use that sticky contact deal. So
Okay.
it is not, I can assure you, it is not as robust of a system or as user friendly as what you're seeing on Podium, though. It's not. I mean, so right now you'll be able to duct tape something together that won't be bad, but it won't be as good as Podium's.
Okay, because I can see where a business would find that really a useful feature.
Oh, for sure. It's an incredibly useful feature, and it will be something that the high level crew incorporates, or at least at a bare minimum integrates with another platform to be able to offer it, for sure.
And some of on the other pages, talks about under solutions, it has all these particular industries, specific industries, and it talks about how it can integrate with software that they're already using, CRMs and things like that. Like if you go to home services, they do Service Titan and House Call Pro, and so to integrate into some of these other softwares, is it a Zap function, or is it something that that needs to be custom coded?
It depends on what it is. I mean, Zapier or webhooks will get you a long way. So it just depends on what the app is. In some cases, that will be enough. In other cases, you may have to do some custom work.
Yeah, so you connect with the tools you use.
Yeah,
that's a big job. I mean,
yeah.
that's and I know Sean is. I mean, their team is working on more integrations, but it's a big job.
Yeah.
Well, to integrate hundreds of platforms would seem to be pretty monumental task.
For sure. That's why these guys have raised $100 million.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to sort of go back to simplicity here, but this is going to be, you know, I mean, as you saw my in my graphs that I had uploaded onto the group, that you know, maybe the value add is going to have to be a real strong value add to compete with stuff like this.
It's going to have to be a what value add?
A very strong value add to compete with like Podium.
Yeah, definitely. I think, yeah, it's got to be strong, and it's got to be different. I mean, that's really key. So if you are trying to be like Podium, you're going to be in trouble, because what you're doing is you're setting yourself up to, you know, okay, great, you know, I could cobble together a payments thing, but you're essentially just putting yourself in the position of putting an inferior product out there just because you want to be more like Podium, you know, just because Podium is offering that. So you've got to be very careful not to do that, or yeah, you're just gonna put yourself in a bad situation. So you've got to go back to that strategy graph and say, well, where can I differentiate that Podium can't in this industry? And so, you know, there are going to be these core functions that Podium is going to do very well, right? They're going to be able to do some core functions very well, and they're going to be able to integrate with platforms, certain platforms, pretty darn well, because they have the tech development team to do that. What they're going to have a hard time doing, at least for any period of time, is doing anything in depth with any of these industries, though, right? They're spreading themselves across a bunch of different verticals, but they're not going real deep in any of them, because you can't. I mean, if you're going wide, it's very hard and very expensive to go deep too. So, you know, you've got to look at the space and go, okay, well, how do I go, you know, deep, or just do something complete, you know, that's very different. I mean, those are really your competitive options, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, we were talking on our call, we were talking on our MSP Academy call, right? Where, you know, these guys are never doing any sort of human touch follow-up, and they're not doing real industry specific, you know, campaigns and things like that, right? So like, those are examples of things that you could do that, you know, Podium is, they'll you know, never touch that stuff.
Yeah. All right.
If I could just add to that real quick.
Yeah.
To answer Howard's concern, Sean and Paulson have both talked about this multiple times. Their intent for the connectors to all these third-party programs is to put that in the marketplace and leave it to third parties to bring that to the crowd. So you're going to be left with a choice. You either buy those and, you know, mark it out for your clients, and they handle support, or you build your own and then you get stuck with the support.
Yeah, which I think is super smart. I mean, it's going to be like the Salesforce ecosystem, and they have a very good opportunity to do that in the SMB space, and I think that's totally right on. So, just like people are developing snapshots now, and
you're saying hire third-party developers to do a integration when necessary.
Yeah,
No,
no, they would have
yeah.
the third-party integration. You would be buying it as a subscription.
Yeah. So Tim Fandrick, who's got a development team, Howard, would say, hey, I see this awesome opportunity to create a connector from Highlevel to the home services CRM platform or whatever that's specific to that, so that they can talk. So he would code that once and make sure it works and support it and all that stuff, and then sell it in the Highlevel marketplace so that anybody who's in Highlevel could just buy into that and have their connector done.
Oh,
What would they sell it for? Like, what would be a price that they would sell it for?
Oh, I have no clue, honestly. I have no clue. I mean, I think it depends on the volume and the maintenance and all that type of stuff that's included. I could see, you know, maybe I'd pay Tim $1,000 a year or something like that for a subscription to something like that. And then he's maintaining it for me, making sure it works all the time, any updates are done and all that good stuff. And then Tim, gets 70, 75 people, 100 people or whatever from the high level community that are all paying that. And, he's got a decent thing going. I mean, I think it really just depends on what's involved, and there's going to be different price points for different things.
It's really good. It would really depend on the complexity of the API and I mean everything, and if the company is has an open API, or if they charge for the API. Like I was looking at Demandforce the other day, and they actually charge for their API, I believe, if I'm thinking of the right company. So there's going to be a lot of factors of what kind of cost that is.
Yeah.
Great opportunity though. I'm going to jump on it.
Yeah. All right, let's see. Tim Pepper. I've gone over the A.D.E.L framework many times. Great looking tool and explanation of how to use it in the module. However, can you give us an example or two using their San Diego that further explains applying leverage, especially replacing a service with an asset? I guess I could also ask the same question for delivering one-to-many. Yeah, so, okay. So Tim is referring to this A.D.E.L framework that I created, which is just a framework to help you analyze and brainstorm opportunities in your service plans to create more margin, either by simply removing costs or by applying leverage in your model, which could be in the way of automation. But there are other ways of applying leverage. And specifically, I said, in this case, replacing service with an asset and delivering one-to-many. Yeah, so Tim, so in the case of their San Diego, the most obvious example that always just stands out to me is just the fact that I can sell, so I mean, their San Diego in and of itself is creating an asset instead of a service, right? And so what I mean by that is I could go out and I could sell content marketing services to small businesses. Hey everybody, I'll write blog posts for you, and I'll run ad campaigns to promote your blog posts, on your blog. So that's absolutely a service. It could be a good service. There's a lot of businesses that certainly need help with that. But with their San Diego, instead of writing content for their site and instead of running ads on their ads manager to give traffic to their site, I have instead flipped that. And now when they come and sign up for content for me, it's content that goes on my site. And when I promote it, I'm promoting traffic to my site. So they are paying me for the content. They're paying me for the ads, just like they would be. But instead of that traffic going to their site and benefiting them 100%, the traffic and the content is going on my site. And so it's benefiting me tremendously. It's benefiting them as well. There's huge value to them. But it's benefiting me because my asset is getting better. Every single time somebody pays me for content and traffic, my asset gets better. Versus if I was just running a service agency to do content marketing, every time I work for that customer, my asset is not getting better necessarily unless I'm running a tight operation. So my operation, can grow and I can have profitability and things like that. So I'm benefiting that way. And that is absolutely great. But in this case, my product is an asset too. My service is an asset too. So I'm getting the benefit of building a business, but I'm also getting the benefit of my product is being built as well. Okay, does that make sense? Tim may be on mute. Okay, cool. Tim says perfect, great explanation. Got it. Okay, good. So just going back to that framework a little bit too, delivering one-to-many is just, it's a huge opportunity. Anytime that you can think about one to many. So let me just give a couple more examples of this though to maybe get people thinking a little bit. So my newsletter service, my content delivered service that I do for agencies, that's a great example of both of these, right? I could do a newsletter service for agencies, but instead what I've done is I've taken the content and just sold it as an asset instead, sold it as a product instead, right? So I'm not going out and creating customized content for every single business out there. I could, and that's a service. You can do it, and it's valuable, and there are customers that will pay for it. But instead, I just create the content and then I put it into a package and I sell it to everybody. It's the same content. And that then gives me the one-to-many capability. So I'm getting these points of leverage in my model that if you compare it to if I was doing custom newsletter writing for every one of those agencies, I mean, talk about a bigger, more expensive sales process, a much higher ticket product or service. I'm going to have to hire people like crazy to do the writing. Every single job is custom. So I'm going to have a review process with them. Like the overhead just increases tremendously to get that extra, revenue. But honestly, the margins would probably be worse. At the end of the day, the margins that I would take out of the business, I'm talking net, would probably be worse. I mean, unless I get that business much bigger and really efficient operationally, then I'm probably, it would have to grow. That business would have to grow like crazy for it to make me as much money as this makes me with a much, much, much easier operation. So I'm applying both of these things to get leverage in what I'm doing. Cool. Awesome. Yeah, you bet, Tim. Steve, Derek, go ahead, Derek. Do you want to unmute?
Yeah, sorry about that, Mike. Thank you.
Sure.
So 2 questions I have, and I'm going to say this, I have been way behind on the programs that you're putting out, but I've actually had some really good business opportunities pop up for me. So it's a good and a bad. So I'm working to that out.
We'll take that. We'll take that, especially
yeah,
right now. No problem.
Yeah. My question was on the Podium, if anybody knows this, so I just actually was reached out by a pain medicine practice, and they just signed up with Podium last month. And the reason that they chose to go with them, but they didn't know about us, they're asking us for some ads and social media stuff for them. But the reason that they liked them is because it integrated with their EMR. So the issue that in the healthcare field that I'm having with Highlevel is in chiropractic, there's what's called Chiro Touch. In in physical therapy, there's Promote. So it's these EMRs that I have to ask them to take out their Excel spreadsheet, give me their patients and put them in. So I'm just wondering if do you know if that's on the roadmap for integration? And I don't know if this is piggybacking on what Howard said or not.
Yeah, I have no idea if it is or not,
Okay.
honestly.
Okay.
I think your answer is going to be the same answer that Howard got, which is that they're going to create marketplace opportunities for people to develop those integrations and sell them. And I think that's ultimately, other than creating your own, I think that's you're going to end up just having to wait for that.
Okay. All right, cool. Second question on reactivations. I'm doing them for clients and they work fantastic. The question is, I typically start a reactivation campaign for a client as a one-off, meaning give me your list of the last 6 months, 12 months, whatever it is that you'd like to reactivate, who you'd like to reactivate. Then after that process is done, after 30 days, I want you to give me your list of the people, when you look in your software, that haven't been in for the previous 100 days. Then the following month, who wasn't in. So whether it's 3 people or 33 people.
Yeah.
My question is, I basically can set up the same reactivation campaign over and over and over again. I would just basically, the new people that come in, whether it's the 3 or 33, I would just import them and tag them uniquely to, let's say, February of 2021. Is that how you think that I would go about that? Because I haven't done this yet. I've only done the one time large, but I'm starting to get people that want me to do the reactivation campaigns monthly, so their staff doesn't have to make the phone calls. I'm just trying to figure out how to best push them back into the reactivation campaign.
Got it. Yeah. So what you could do is you could use a custom date field, where in that custom date field, anytime anybody comes in for a service, the office puts in that date into the system. So they were in here on this date. And then you can create a campaign that automatically runs and triggers based on that date. So you can just create a campaign that says, hey, if their last time in was 3 months ago, then this will fire.
Okay. And I think that would work great if all of the I think it's too hard in the health, at least my thought process, in the healthcare field, it's too hard because it has to come from their software and then push it over into Highlevel. Because in other words, they would have to, their software is telling them the last time they were in was 3 months ago, but Highlevel doesn't know that.
Yeah, so do they not get do they not get access to Highlevel in your service right now? Is it you're just running this?
Yeah, no, I'm letting them have full access, but that it would mean that they would have to import every single one of their clients every single time. It's overlap. That's the problem that I'm really having in the healthcare field.
It's
Okay,
the
so I guess,
API integration we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, but let me just walk through here though and make sure I understand this, Eric. So if I have all of my patients, if I have my patient database in Highlevel and I have it in my other system, then you have either a human being when they're checking out somebody or whatever, they're checking them out on one system, they're also logged in the other system, and they go and mark that record as this was their last service date in there. So there's that manual process. And or what you could do is just on whatever frequency that you do it, once a week, once a month, whatever it is, they give you a dump of their contacts in a spreadsheet.
Yeah.
And it's got their last treatment date in there. And you would just upload that into the system, and that last treatment date would go into the custom field. And then the campaign would run based off of that date. So it would say, hey, if we reach the point where it's been 3 months since the date in that custom date field, fire the reactivation.
Okay. Yeah, I'm getting that. I think, all right, I'll have to think through that more as far as using the custom date field versus how my initial thought process is just go in the software that you have, because the people that haven't been in for the 100 days in a chiropractic and or a physical therapy office that haven't been in for 100 days, they can pull from their software that says, give me the people that haven't been in from this date. So again, I might get 3 people in February, or might get 33. And then I just take that that CSV and I dump it in and send the campaign out that way.
Cool. Yeah, I mean that's totally easy. If they can export that data that way, and that's not that hard, then what I would do is I would just every month.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yep.
You just say, hey, every month on this date, export and give me the report that is anybody who hasn't been in 60 days.
Okay.
And then you take that, you upload it, you run the reactivation campaign right then and there. The next month, they pull the same report, you upload it, you run the reactivation campaign right then and there. You just do that every single month.
Okay. All right. I thank you for that. As far as the custom date field too, it just gives me another way to think about it. So thank you.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I think the custom date field is great if they are, if anybody is actively like in the system working it, then that's a great one, right? So like I have all of you guys in Highlevel. So I could, if part of my thing was to do, to make sure you guys get on calls I have an account management part of my service that every 3 months I want to make sure and connect with you in person, then it'd be pretty easy for me to use that custom date field. Anytime I have a call with you, I just update, hey, here was when we did the last call. And then the campaign will automatically trigger based on that custom date field because I'm in there using it every day. But if they're not in there using it every day, and that's kind of a pain in the neck to have anybody go in and do updates like that, I would just export the spreadsheet, import the spreadsheet into Highlevel and let it go.
Yeah, and once I get the feel that it works easy, I'm gonna cut a video for them to do it themselves as well, so I don't have to do it anymore. But for right now, because they use the excuse that their staff doesn't have the time or whatever, I've got to do it for now.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's super. I mean, honestly, like it'd be interesting to see. You may never want to have them do that versus have them send it to you and you have you could have a college kid intern that's what they do is they sit around and upload those spreadsheets all day, or you hire somebody in the Philippines that's what they do, and it just makes the service feel that much more high touch to them.
Yeah, that's a great point too. Yeah, that's a great point too. Okay, cool. Thanks as well always, Mike. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you got it, of course. It's here. Steven says, what have you found is the best way to promote your information products? Well, for me personally, Steven, the best way to promote the product as in, hey, I've got it and I'm trying to sell it right now today is through the email list. That's always the easiest, like right away, most cost effective, greatest response, all that type of stuff. But in terms of, marketing promotion, thanks, Tim, have a good one. In terms of marketing promotion, it's anything and everything, right? Podcasts, YouTube videos, Facebook ads. I mean, all of those things are great and they all add up. And it really, I hate to say it depends, but it does depend. What is your information product? What is the niche that you're selling to? If I were selling to certain niches, it would be nothing but YouTube, right? If I was doing stuff for gamers, I'd just be all over YouTube. Not to say that there isn't opportunity on Facebook and stuff like that. There is, but the first place I'd be was all over YouTube and Twitch and stuff like that. If you were selling to, Fortune, whatever, and that's not a good example, probably. It could be for information products, but I don't know, you're selling to real estate agents or whatever. Maybe it's LinkedIn, and I'd be all over LinkedIn. So it just depends. Or I'd be using Tony's podcasting system and promoting, ads through podcasts, right? So for every real estate agent focused podcast out there, I'd have a little commercial that runs in that going, hey, it's Mike with, super duper real estate, software and training. Make sure you come over and check out my site over at blah, blah, blah. So it's really a combination of those things. But in terms of, they always, the money is in the list and you got to build your email list. And email marketing in terms of getting a direct sale today for my product that's the easiest. Let's see here. Timothy says, are you going to do your sales high level training program again? Yes, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I have the whole, brand and focus on that this year for sure.
Do you know when you're going to do that?
I will do a version of it here pretty, real soon. I don't have something specific on my calendar yet, but it'll be real soon.
Okay.
Cool. Good questions. Anybody else have any questions?
I have a question real quick. I think I started doing this 6 months ago and I uploaded all the snapshots that you had. Have you updated the snapshots that are in the Teachable? Should we go through that process again?
If it was 6 months ago, yeah, you probably don't have the reactivation campaign one in there. Do you have that, the R&R campaign? Resell and reactivation campaign? You probably don't have that snapshot. And so yes, I would definitely look. And Timothy, depending on when you did that, like I've broken up the snapshots now. So I have like multiple smaller snapshots so you can just import what you want instead of importing like one big snapshot. And then I will roll out one here in the next week for this WordPress web chat as well. So that'll be coming.
Okay. You mean a trigger and a campaign associated with that?
Yep.
Okay. Cool. Thanks.
We could put web chat on any
Which is-
any website, right? It's just an embed code.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Thanks, Mike.
Yeah. So that'll be coming here real quick.
Catch you later.
Go ahead, Tony.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, I totally love to get your feedback.
Awesome.
All right,
Good
thanks.
stuff.
Bye.
Cool. Any other questions? If not, we'll let you get back to your Friday, get your weekend started. But let me know here. We'll keep it open here for another question or two. Awesome. Well, good. Well, look, I hope you got good stuff out of it. I enjoyed it, certainly. Happy Friday. And I will be doing these every other Friday, a little Friday happy hour, kick off our weekend together. And I look forward to seeing you on there if I can help you in any way. Okay. Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you. Have a great weekend. We'll talk soon and we'll see you on a future call. All right. Take care,
Okay.
everybody. Bye-bye.